Welcome to the Tough Decisions Network. This is our special Saturday edition called Step Up Your Game with Dan. I'm your host, Dan Hanford, and I'll be discussing topics to help you make better decisions to increase your productivity, increase your sales, and improve your overall marketing. Visit toughdecisions.net to sign up for our free weekly entrepreneur email. Before we get started, let's hear from one of our sponsors. Have you ever thought about investing in real estate, but find yourself so busy that you don't have time for it? Do you have FOMO, which is the fear of missing out? At HanfordCapital.com, we help investors with passive real estate investments that project better returns than traditional investment vehicles such as the stock market. If you'd like to find out more about our passive real estate investments, visit HanfordCapital.com. That's HANDFORD capital.com. We will jump on a call with you to discuss your investment goals and to see if our investments are a good fit for you. This advertisement is not to be construed as an offer or recommendation to buy or sell a security. Visit HanfordCapital.com. On the podcast with us today is Marsha Guerrier, a life balance and business coach, and also is working full-time in corporate America. And I'm really looking forward to this interview with her and the information that she's going to be able to provide during this podcast. Welcome to the podcast, Marsha.
Thank you so much, Dan. Thanks for having me on your show today. I'm so excited to talk to you and all your listeners today.
Marsha, I want you to get us started and talk to us about what you're doing right now and what your background is, and just kind of get us up to speed on what you're going through now and kind of what the future looks like for you too.
Yes, thank you so much. So I have been, as you stated, I currently work in corporate America. I have been working over 20 years in the financial investment industry, both in the front office and then transitioned about, I would say 15 years ago into technology as the big technology Y2K era. Ooh, if I said Y2K, that means it's 18 years. Oh my gosh. I don't want to age myself. I just told everybody.
10, so it's been,
right? So it's been that long since I transitioned into the technology space to develop systems and applications for the financial industry. I've been a business analyst, product manager, and that journey, in which I'm still there, has afforded me the great opportunity to work with Fortune 500 companies as well as small startup firms in that market space. And I found that in assessing which environment I love best, I love the startup. I love working with entrepreneurial, spirited people that all come in together with a full passion to see something just blow up and explode into something amazing. And I've been so fortunate enough to work with startups and small companies, and currently in the role that I'm in now, where the company have succeeded so well. And I would like to say thanks partly to me that we've been able to be acquired and really take our business someplace phenomenal. And so as I was working in my current role about 5-7 years ago, I said, wouldn't it be great if I took these skills? I was mentoring women in corporate America for many years. I had a large number of friends that were entrepreneurs. I myself have started and stopped several businesses while I was working in the past. And I said, wouldn't it be great if I take these same skills, the same abilities as an analyst, as a thought leader to help small businesses grow and or start? And then I thought, wouldn't it be great if I take it and apply it to the women that I already work with in corporate America? And that's exactly how Women on the Rise came to be. The name of my company is called Women on the Rise NY for New York. And we help women that are career professionals that are looking to start or grow a business, women that know that there is something beyond the 9 to 5, right? And really excited to watch them excel in their own passion.
What would you say are some of the things that you're seeing that these women are now able to start in these businesses? Because I'm sure there's probably multiple things, but there's probably a couple of businesses that you're seeing are really working right now with women that are in that corporate America job that are starting as an entrepreneur, as kind of a side business, outside of that corporate America job.
Thank you for that question, Dan, because it excites me to talk about, and it's something that I'm incorporating into my business conference that I'm hosting next month. But the easiest, fastest, greatest entry point into entrepreneurship is a multi-level marketing business. And I do see a great deal of women, career professionals, that are sure they want to be entrepreneurs or a little bit unsure as to what it is they can do. And until they get clear on their own personal abilities and their passions, oftentimes they go into multi-level marketing companies, and there are companies such as Mary Kay, if you're into makeup and beauty, and then there are clothing companies. The great thing about the companies that are out there and successful is that you can really select from any industry, and it's really based on your passion. And you determine how much you make and how hard you work in that industry before you even have to consider what you can do and take a leap out on your own. And I do think that's such a great way for women to just explore entrepreneurship as something for them.
Kind of dipping their toe into getting that entrepreneurial spirit and the entrepreneurial vibe until they actually find what they are going to do, more long-term, right?
Yes. And then I always say it's a great entry point, but don't stop there.
Sure.
Continue to evolve and to see what it is that you find interest in. And, this competition is the best thing on earth. Learn how to redevelop something and take something that already exists and create it and make it your own. You might be the creator of the next best, multi-level marketing company. So this year at my conference, I know we'll talk about it a little bit more later, but I decided to include a multi-level marketing business panel, and we're having some very high earners on our panel to discuss some of the misconceptions about multi-level marketing. They're not all, and I say not all because I don't know the breadth of what people have experienced, but they're not scams. They're not Ponzi schemes. Sometimes multi-level marketing companies get a bad rap sometimes. And so we're going to talk to some people that have been able to be extremely successful and actually earn 7 figures as a multi-level marketing consultant.
Well, and most of the listeners, who have followed our podcast for any time know that I'm in the multifamily, apartment syndication space where, we are buying large apartment complexes and we get outside investors to invest in these deals and we share in the profits. And, a lot of times people will look at that and go, oh, maybe that's a scam, and so it's all about trying to find the right company and the right person to work with, because I'm sure there are some MLM companies out there that is what gives MLMs such a bad rap, but it's all about vetting those people and knowing people like you that have gone down the road and some good and reputable MLM companies, and people who have had success. And it's the biggest, flaw that I've always heard from MLMs is that the only people that are making money in MLM are the people at the top. You got to come in at the very beginning in order to make any money, but to be able to have somebody like yourself that, has some experience with these other types of MLMs that you're not at the very, very top and you're still making some pretty good money. And that's really where it comes down to, is just finding the right business and the right MLM company. If that's where you're going to start and get your foot wet in, that's reputable and that's not a scam.
Right. And it's so important. And one of the biggest messages I hope to get across to the women as well is that it doesn't just stop at entering and buying the kit and the company sells itself. Even a Mercedes-Benz dealer has to sell a Mercedes. People thought years ago Mercedes sell themselves. They don't. You still have to now, especially in today's market, competition is so thin. You really have to explain and show the value of whatever it is you're trying to sell. And you still become the brand when you're running a multi-level marketing company. You can't solely leave it up to people buy from you because they know, trust, and like you as an individual and not so much what you're trying to sell.
That's so true in every business. People do business with people that they know, like, and trust. And you have to be able to build relationships. And if you don't build those relationships, then it's going to be very, very hard to make any type of business successful, because it's all about those relationships and getting people to buy from you because they, like you said, know, like, and trust you.
Right.
So how did you get started in this journey that you're on? Because I know you kind of touched on it a little bit earlier, but what were some of the mindset things that you had to go through to try to get to this point of getting to where you are now?
There's so many different things. I can speak on one experience that I had. Years ago, I wanted to become a blogger. So I wanted to get a website, and I hired someone, paid a lot of money for a website that turned out to be something that was kind of out of the box and not really, I could have did it myself. So I was After a while, I felt like I was led astray, like I was not guided in the right position. And I've always had companies and people that came to me for advice. And I always wanted to make sure that whatever I went through that was maybe negative or someone gave me misinformation, I wanted to make sure that I could share with people information and give them all the tools they need in order for them to start or grow. That's the point where you have the least money most of the time, right? Mm-hmm. You have the least money and then you trust and invest in yourself, but only to turn around to find out that you may have wasted your time. So I wanted to have a resource center through Women on the Rise to help women get the information they need through trusted sources that I have worked with and vetted out to make sure that they won't be taken for a ride, that the information that they're needing today is relevant to today's world, today's technology, because it's all about technology, right? We're learning and teaching each other how to grow, launch, and build a community, and it's all happening in social media, throughout technology. So I wanted to make sure that I created a platform where people will get that comfort and feel safe and come to a place where they're very supportive. Very on in my career, not too many women leadership positions were available, especially in the financial services industry. And as the jobs began to open for women, I found that women were less supportive of one another and really now pitted against each other to fight for the one and only positions that were available, instead of coming together and really saying, hey, ladies, let's strategize. Let's make sure one of us gets to that table, get to that leadership suite, get to that position, and then change the dialogue at the table to bring more of us in. And that's not what happened. And so I was excited to not only help people get the information, but also remind women that we're here to support one another.
So would you say that your primary goal or purpose, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm just shooting from the hip here as we're dialoguing,
sure,
but would you say that your primary goal would be to have these women like yourself creating some sort of secondary revenue stream, some sort of secondary business, some sort of side hustle business or whatever, this MLM, or getting some additional kind of management experience so that they can, rise in the corporate ladder and corporate America? Or is it more about trying to quit the corporate America job and continue on with a larger business on their own?
I find that it's for the latter. It's really for the person that, there was also a time where I met people because the job market was so kind of like people were concerned about their jobs and the market was crashing. So people were nervous. What would I do? And I found that most people didn't have a backup plan. So I wanted people to start developing those backup plans, because in corporate America, your job is not promised to you. And my message is not to quit your job today or tomorrow and start a business, but rather develop a strategy for your life where if for some reason you needed to exit corporate America, you have a backup plan. You can begin to develop some side income, and what bonus and what better thing could happen is if you are able to then realize the dream of leaving corporate America.
Mm-hmm. Now, along this process where you were going through this transition yourself, did you have some sort of a mentor or a coach or something like that you were able to kind of, ask a lot of questions and get a lot of guidance from?
Yes, I'm an avid learner. I'm still seeking, new mentors and new experiences. I do have a coach that I work with that keeps me level-headed and grounded in both my career and business. And my coach is there to remind me of my goals. And my goal is, me personally, currently not to leave corporate America. There are certain benefits in corporate America that I feel I'm able to take the skills, especially because I work in technology. I'm able to get the skills that I am getting through my job to then share it with other people. So I feel like you do need to kind of get a sense of what the end game for you are, for each person, the people that I meet with. What is it that you are trying to get out of, and what is your mission? And my mission is definitely to continue on this journey. And I've had mentors, my own CEOs and bosses are my mentors. The people, like I said, I've been for the last 7 years working in this small startup, which now we've been bought out and we're no longer a small startup. These guys were entrepreneurs and they mentored me and they taught me and were very supportive of me having my own business. And so I continue to put myself in those spaces and continue to seek guidance from people like my own CEO.
So what would you tell our audience that, may be listening and they have a corporate America job and they've thought about taking this leap and this next step, but they just have this mental block and they have this block of being able to just get in there and just doing it and just taking, pulling that trigger. What would you say to that person that, is in that kind of a state of mind and how to get them out of that state of mind to get them to the point of leveling up to that next position, to that next level?
That they really need to get out of their own way and seek like-minded people, entrepreneurs or career professionals that are entrepreneurs, and hang around those guys. When you hang around that group of people, like-minded, positive, forward-thinking entrepreneurs, it is infectious. You will become and begin to realize that everything and anything is achievable. And mostly it takes your belief that you will succeed in whatever venture you want to accomplish. But sometimes it takes being around like-minded people. If you're feeling that way, most likely you don't have people in your circle and your community of supporters that are also doing the same thing. And I urge you, one of the things, networking is key. It's almost like cash is king. Network is king in up-leveling, putting yourself in the right mindset to want to experience something greater than the 9 to 5.
So we're going to dive deep a little bit more into the, networking thing after I ask you this next question. So I want to still kind of go on that same topic after this next question. So I want to shift on the next question to technology because you're into the technology space. You mentioned about the right resources and using the right technology at the various stages of your business. Is there a technology that you personally use in your day-to-day, whether it be your corporate America job or in your side business that you have right now, that helps make your life easier? Some sort of a technology that kind of, streamlines the process for you.
The software that I use in both areas of my life are management tools, project management for my day-to-day, and the same type of project management tools in my business because it keeps me organized. Whatever system you need to use to stay organized. And sometimes it's not technology. Sometimes it's a old school planner, which
piece of paper and a pen.
Piece of paper and a pen. I have planners. I developed and created a planner, and I still write in my planner as well as maintain my schedule and to-do list and prioritize those things in the system. You could use, you have those corporate office suite Microsoft project managers, but Excel can help you easily put something together if that's all you have. But right now, there are so many softwares that are available to you. Trello, there are so many softwares out here. Asana that will allow you to become organized, because that's the key to success. Knowing your goals, prioritizing your tasks to accomplish those goals. And then the next thing is building a team, right? So if you have team members, you have family members, and you want to share your calendar with them. Right now, I'm on a 30-day media blitz for my conference. So my schedule is so tight. I'm able to share that with my support team that helps me with my son, my parents, I should say. Thanks, Mom and Dad. So I'm able to share my schedule with them seamlessly through technology.
Do you have also this project management software that you use? And do you also have like virtual assistants or people that are in the virtual space that are helping you that aren't necessarily in a quote unquote office that help you with your side stuff?
Yes, that virtual assistants are one of the greatest things that have been planned, developed. When you find the right virtual assistant, you have to probably go through some trial and error to find the person that you most work well with. because these people are often in a different time zone. There may sometimes be language barriers because you'll find a lot of virtual assistants even offshore outside of the country. But it's important that you find someone that will match your work style, work ethic, and will assist you in every aspect of your business. You don't have to do this business alone. When you get to the point of starting a company, and even no matter what it is, it's imperative that you have support. And a virtual assistant is a really great way to have someone on your team without having a full salaried person. And you can work it within your budget. You can give them tasks and projects. You don't have to feel like you have to turn over your whole business and be hands off. You can give them small things to do throughout the month.
Well, I think that's where, that technology really is very beneficial because, working in corporate America, you don't want to have to babysit everybody. But if you can, in between, your corporate America job, be able to sit down and come up with some tasks and some projects that they can work on, while you're not sitting there breathing over their neck the whole time, that project management software really kind of ties everything together.
Yeah. And it keeps you sane. You can see, you can track progress. It's how you work together and how, again, you pick the person that matches your style. Not every virtual assistant will be as detail-oriented and organized as you are. So you search and find the person through interviews, through referrals. You want to get a lot of referrals.
Referrals are key for sure.
Yeah.
I want to go back to what we were talking about a minute ago about networking and really, like you said hanging around like-minded people, because a lot of times we get stuck in our own space and our own mindset because we are talking to the wrong people and we're hanging around the wrong people that aren't at the level that we are or aren't wanting to get to that next level. They're fine with the status quo. And
right.
This, I think, is what's very important for the listeners to understand is that this event that you have coming up is a great opportunity to hang around those like-minded people. Because you might think, well, it's easy to say, let's go hang around some like-minded people. Well, where do you find those like-minded?
Where do you find them?
And that's really where your event comes into place. Is that's an event that's, allows you to be able to network with other women, network with those people that really want to do what you're wanting to do and are doing some of that stuff, and that's what I like about your event.
That's one of the reasons why the event is so great. And any conference, any business conference, anything that is in the industry, you will find conferences specific to industry. You will find conferences that are general woman empowerment or entrepreneur empowerment, career development. It's really important that you seek these conferences, whether it's in your state or not, and attend, because thinking about your objective and your mission will guide you to the right conference. One of the greatest things that I get out of my conference is hearing back after all these years. Again, we're approaching our 5th year, and hearing back from the attendees of the conference that say that they are doing business. They're collaborating with other small businesses. And that to me has been the greatest reward from some of these businesses, as well as knowing that women walked away saying to themselves, okay, wow, since I've left the Women on the Rise conference, I have been able to grow my business to earn 20% revenue more. And I've used the skills in order for me to even start where I thought I was stuck. I got clarity. So the conference we have 9 master classes. We're going to be talking about finances, branding, marketing, sales. We'll even be having a segment or a speaker to talk about, what do you call that thing? Self-publishing. What people don't understand is having a book, writing a book, you don't have to be a New York Times bestseller in order to be an author. You don't have to go through a traditional publishing house in order to have your message heard and read and seen by millions of people or even hundreds of people. You can use that book as your own personal strategy to help you seek more clients, to help you be seen as a thought leader in your industry, and to let people know and understand how much you do know about the work that you do.
And this is an event that you just started. This is now like the fifth time you've done it now, right?
Yes, we're going into our fifth year. It has grown so much that we took it from a one-day event to now a two-day event. And it's because the people have asked for it. And it's been such a pleasure for me to bring this event back every year in the New York area.
Well, Marsha, I really appreciate you. I know you're really busy. You got a lot of things going on. You're doing a lot of good things. And I really appreciate you taking the time to be in on the podcast with us today. How can the listeners reach out to you, follow you some more, and maybe even register for this event coming up next month in October?
Thank you, Dan. It's been such a great time talking to you. And, you got me thinking and talking about all the things I love when it comes to women empowerment and creating small businesses. You can get in touch with me through my website at www.womenontheriseny.com. And we don't just work with women from the New York area. We work with women. Actually, I have a client in Canada. And so we've worked with women in other countries and throughout the country here in the United States. So please get in touch with us at our website. And you can find us on all things social media, Facebook and Instagram. We are Women on the Rise NY. On Twitter, we're WOTR NY. And you can find us on LinkedIn as well.
Well, and we'll make sure that on the show notes for this episode that we include links to all those various places on social media as well as the website to get more information about the event. That way, if you're driving down the road or listening while you're working out, when you get back to the office or whatever, you'll be able to have those links readily available for you. And again, thank you so much, Marsha, for joining us. Look forward to, kind of following you a little bit more and also maybe even having you on a future podcast as you continue to grow yourself.
Thanks, Dan. It's my pleasure. I look forward to speaking to you guys again.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Tough Decisions Network. Be sure to visit toughdecisions.net to gain access to show notes for this episode and to join our free weekly entrepreneur email where we will send you news about the latest technology for your business, inspiring quotes, and the latest books for entrepreneurs. That's toughdecisions.net.